Hello and welcome to Tricks of the S-Trade channel. Today is the 17th of September 2017 and today's video is a little bit different. I just want to do something and just try to answer or just give you my opinion. So this video is not based on any facts, so I don't want anybody maybe asking me any questions and saying, what are you talking about? So the title of the video in the first place is called A Theory of Surrogates. So if it's your first time on the channel and you are trying to understand what I'm saying, you need to pause the video right here and go look for the primer video. When you're done watching the primer video, then you can come back and continue watching this video. And in a second, I want to point you to how to watch the primer video on this channel. So the primer video is going to be the oldest video on this channel. It also has a playlist. It's called Primer. Like I'm hovering my mouse over right there, you can actually see it. So when you click on the video, you can watch the video, and also on any video that you watch on this channel, there's a description section. So when you click on the description section right here, as I'm hovering my mouse over, it's going to take you to our document. It's called Male versus Female Visual Differences. So if you're solely interested in the topic of transgenders, you need to grab this document. It's free for download. It's going to take you like 30 minutes to go through, even though it has 44 pages long. But when you go through it, you'll be able to transvestigate anybody if you're solely interested in transgenders. But the channel, even though we feature a lot of transgenders, is not really about transgenders. It's about making you understand your world, giving you food for thought so you can understand the way the world works, and trying to make you understand that there is a God and there is a devil as well. So that's what the channel is mostly about. So the topic of today's feature, we're not featuring anybody on today. We just want to talk about something. Like I said at the start of the video, it's called A Theory of Surrogates. And like I said, this video, because our channel is solely dedicated to presenting facts to you, this one is not based on any facts. It's just based on a theory that we have of how surrogacy is involved, or who are the people behind bringing in children into this world for these transgenders. All right. So to go on further, I'm trying to know where to actually start the video, but before I can go any further, I like to put certain warnings in place, that there are channel rules in effect on how you label someone a transgender. To avoid slandering, you have to provide pictures, links of pictures or videos on how you come to that assertion based on facts, based on the fact that the female skeletal structure is designed to give birth. And because the female skeletal structure is designed to give birth, a woman is going to have her hips below her crotch. She's going to have a wide pubic arch. She's going to have an arch in her back, and she's going to have a tilted pelvis forward. These are all requisites for childbirth, which is this is what actually differentiates the sexes between male and female, because a woman can give birth and a man can't. So if you're going to label someone a transgender, you just can't say the person is a transgender. You have to supply the pictures of those person in links showing that that person has the female skeletal structure that which I've talked about, or doesn't have one, to label someone a transgender. If your comments start with skull references, brow ridges, index fingers, jaw lines, long torsos, long arms, Adonis belts, and that's how you label someone a transgender, based that the person has those features, your comments are going to be blocked or deleted. Because like I'm saying, this channel is an education channel. It's not for entertainment reasons. A lot of people might be expecting that I should be having a video every now and then, but if I don't have nothing to say, anything valid, I'm not just gonna make a video just to entertain you and keep you hooked on the channel. All right, that's not what this channel is about. It's just about educating you and make you understand your world. So to go further now, if you've for the older subscribers and for the new ones, I hope they've watched the primer video before I can continue on. We're talking about a theory of surrogates. A theory of surrogates in the sense that if transgenders, all right, being faked to bear children, in the cases of so many transgenders that we have, for example, one of the most popular, which happens to be Beyonce, we have Serena Williams, we have Ciara, We have Derek Ho. We have Iggy Azalea, not pregnant yet. We have people like the list is endless. David Beckham. You have other people like Derek Hu. You have other people like the list just goes on and on. I'm not just gonna call out any more names because I can do that all night. It's gonna take too long. So what we're talking about is if these transgenders give birth, how come that the children which they give birth tend to look like them? Now, before I go any further as well, I would also at this point like to recommend that you watch the Lisa Lopes video in which I talk about the fact that DNA isn't real, that they don't actually know, there's no such thing as DNA based on the Vatican code of numbers that's being used to tell us that DNA is made of maybe that you takes 23 chromosomes from a man and 23 chromosomes from a woman to actually make a child possible. And I've talked about the fact that that is fake science, that the only way they can find out if a sperm is carrying male traits or female traits is that the male sperm swims it swims faster, is bigger, and doesn't live very long. And then the sperm that carries the female traits is much more slower, lives longer, and is smaller. So that's how they can distinguish between which one is male and which one is female when they're doing in vitro fertilization. So if we found that out now, the question now, we go back to the question is, how come that the children that this supposed transgenders fake as giving birth to tend to look like them? So I'm going to propose a theory to you of how this is possible. So let me get into that straight with the very first picture that I'm going to pull up. Now, here is a picture of Kevin Bacon and his wife. I think his wife is named by the name of Sedgwick. I don't know. I can't remember the first name, but I'm going to show you, point you to the website soon. Now, according to the story that we've been told, we know that we've heard that Kevin Bacon is actually, that his wife right here is his cousin. Whether first or second cousin, I don't know, but I'm going to point you to the website in a minute and just read about it. So Kevin Bacon, as we've proved with facts on our channel, is actually a transgendered male. He wasn't born male, he's female. All right. So the theory now is if Kevin Bacon has children, being that these are two females, how come the child tends to look like him? So the theory here is that siblings are involved, okay? Because Kira Sedgwick here, I think that's the name of the lady, is Kevin Bacon's cousin. So and cousins are gonna look alike one way or the other. I mean, if you have if your mother has a sister and you have children from that sister, the cousins tend to quite look alike. I hope that makes sense. So let me actually point you to the website and then we can come back and talk about this a little bit more. So here is the website you can go read up on about Kevin Bacon. Here you can pause the video and copy out the link right there. And it says here, husband and wife Kevin Bacon and Sedgwick discovered after 25 years of marriage that they are cousins. Actually believe that's false, because when the Vatican creates this kind of families, they know exactly what they're doing. So it says, according to the trivia game 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, anyone on earth is just 6 connections away from the Hollywood star. That's also Vatican code of numbers. Like I've said before, you need to watch the Lisa Lopes video to actually understand what I'm saying. So go to the channel and look for the video on Lisa Lopes in which I talk about this exhaustively. So as you can see, he says, so perhaps the actor should have been a little wary before agreeing to take part in a television show investigating his family ancestry. However, let's see, where is that? However, yeah, let me continue reading. He says, however, Bacon was stunned to learn that he and his wife, the actress Kira Sedgwick, are actually cousins. I bet you they've known this right from the get-go. But this is how the media, which is owned by the Vatican, tries to confuse you so that you don't understand what's really going on. So, in order to answer the question of how these people make babies that look like them, and when they come out, we say, okay, the babies look like them. And people always tend to say that they use surrogates, but I kind of beg to. I know they use surrogates, but the way they use them, I'm not saying that they can use somebody outside of the family. It's very, very possible. But in order to keep secrets, I would think that it would be more convenient for you to use a sibling. All right. So this is how I think these transgenders tend to bring in children into this world who kind of look like them. And you would think, okay, it's possible that maybe it's possible that they use DNA or took DNA from. They use the fake science of taking DNA from both parents and then mingling with the in vitro fertilized egg to bring about a child that looks like them. I don't think so. I think they use their siblings, because what I've did notice about all these transgenders is that they have siblings, and those some of those siblings are not transgender. That means they are the sex which they claim. So I'm gonna show you a little bit more of this as I go along. So let me just show you what I mean. Okay, so for example, right here, Kevin Bacon, if we've proved on this channel that Kevin Bacon is transgendered, so that means you're looking at two females. So we know that it is impossible for two females to actually give birth. You need a man and a woman for that to make it happen. So the question now arises, okay, already we would say that Kira Sedgwick here is actually a kind of sibling to Kevin Bacon. However, a cousin, okay? So in order for these people to make children who's going to look like them, they're going to approach their siblings, their natural born siblings. Now, in this case, Kevin Bacon has siblings. His names is, one is Michael Bacon, Karen Bacon is a sister. So that means in Kevin Bacon's family, he has a brother. He has one brother. If we're going by the story that we're looking at right here, that he has one brother by the name of Michael Bacon. The rest are sisters. Now let's take a picture of Michael Bacon. Let's take a look at a picture of Michael Bacon. Here is a picture of him right now. I think this is Michael Bacon and Kevin Bacon. Since Kevin Bacon is female, all right, and in order to make a child that would look like Kevin Bacon, I'm thinking that the sperm from the child is going to come from the brother, Michael Bacon, and it's going to be in vitro fertilized with Kira Sedgwick over here. And you have a child that looks like Kevin Bacon, and since Kira Sedgwick already is a kind of a sibling of Kevin Bacon, they will have the same, let's say, physical traits or look similar or alike. Does it make sense? So I'm gonna move on to some other people and still show you what I think. All right, so let's keep moving on. So another theory of surrogates is, for example, we've proved on this channel that Ali Raisman, this is Ali Raisman, that Ali Raisman is transgender. That means Ali Raisman is not female but was born male. You need to, for anybody that I'm speaking about on this particular video, you can go look up the video that I explain, and we show all the physical traits to show you that this person are not the sex that they claim on our channel. You can go look that up. So for example, Ali Raisman here is transgendered. We are thinking if Ali Raisman in the future is going to have a daughter, or the media is going to claim that she has a daughter, all right, that she gave birth, they are going to use one of the siblings here that's going to look like Ali Raisman. So that means if this is Ali Raisman's brother, they could use the sperm, or if they prefer to use the eggs, all right, from the siblings, they're going to let these ones grow, and then they can harvest the eggs and do some sort of in vitro fertilization. Because one of the many questions that people always seem to be asking most times, in most cases, is this: if why is it that one family member is transgendered and the other one is not? It's for the reason of procreation. So they can harvest the eggs or the sperm, as the case might be, and use it to make siblings who will look like the transgender person that they're trying to portray to us. So another example here would be, let's say, Beyonce and Solange Knowles, because a lot of people, we already proven on this channel with so many facts and evidence that that Beyonce is a transgender. So the question now arises, how is it possible that Beyonce can have a daughter as Blue Ivy who looks like her? Well, my take on is this, that Solange has been the surrogate of Beyonce all this while. Because what you're going to notice in the news is, like, when Beyonce gets pregnant, all of a sudden Solange just disappears from the news scene. And then if you also remember the elevator problem that they had with Jay-Z, that didn't look like a sister fighting his brother-in-law. It looked like someone, like, say, a mother fighting a father. You remember the story? Well, let me just show you some more proof so you can actually get along with this perfectly. Now, I want you to remember that Beyonce had a push party a couple of months ago for the twins that she was supposedly giving birth to. Now, you can pause the video at any point in time and go look up that link right there, and you're going to see when they say Beyonce had a push party. But I'm going to play the video so you can actually see that we didn't see Solange in this push party. I mean, guys, I want you to think about it. If your sister, because this is not a subject of saying that your sister's out of state, she can't be with you, or she can't come to your push party or anything like this, because these are people who are very, very rich, according to what they let us know. They are worth millions of dollars. So a plane ticket and wherever you are, so any kind of engagement that you had would not be a problem for you not to attend your sister's push party, as they call it, or your sister's baby shower. So I'm gonna play the video. I slowed down the video for you to see that during this party, Solange was nowhere to be found. It's the same case that happened when Beyonce was supposedly pregnant with Blue Ivy. So I'm gonna play the video so you guys can see that. All right. So here is the video, and I'm playing the video right here. Now, here is Beyonce's push party. As you can see right there, Solange is nowhere to be found. We find Michelle Williams. Sorry, Kelly Rowland. Did I say Michelle Williams? Kelly Rowland. We found the mother right here, right? We found Layla Anthony. We found another fake transgender or fake woman in Serena Williams. I don't know who this lady is right here. But Solange is nowhere to be found. I let the video run. Where is the sister? It's very, very important. Where is she? Why? Why would the sister not be here? Why would we have all these faces? Because nowhere in all of those pictures released during Beyonce's pregnancy did we see Solange anywhere near. Where was Solange Knowles? So that is just one of those things that makes you ask the question, where did Solange go? Makes you understand that they use surrogates, and it's better to use siblings, because siblings, one, will give you no trouble of, like, privacy. You don't have to worry about your secrets being exposed. You're keeping it inside the family. It's a nightly nightly what's the right word? It's nightly talk. That's what I wanted to say. It's nightly talking. The secret is talking. No one is gonna know what's going on. Does it make sense? You don't have to worry about. I'm not saying they can't use other surrogates. They can, but when you come close to home, it's more like you have protection of your secrets. You don't have to worry about maybe knocking anybody off if there is such a thing, or somebody exposing you, or dealing with too much drama. You're keeping it inside the family. All right. So let's go. And also, let me just show you something else besides that, just because this is a theory. All right. Let me just pause the video and then and show you the other theory of the fight, right, when Solange was attacking Jay-Z in the elevator. Now, the media made us to believe that, or let's say the father of Solange made us to believe that the fight was because Beyonce and Jay-Z at that point in time were having a concert, so they needed some sort of spark of fire to make us buy the tickets for the concert. But I call that crap. I call that utter nonsense. I think the fight was for real, because according to the stories we heard, the person who released the video of that fight got fired. So if it, to me, if it was just more like a setup for a concert, and then you guys wanted to publicize the concert, and someone got fired, and it doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't fly. I'm just someone who likes to put my brain to work. So I think what really happened was, I think that Solange is the surrogate of Beyonce's children. So it makes total and perfect sense for that to be that way, because the child can always be around her auntie or what the case might be, and will still be treated like family, right? You don't have to worry stuff about like breastfeeding and all that kind of stuff, because she's gonna be with family. Does it make sense? So that's what I think is actually happening here. And I'm thinking the whole idea of Solange being married to somebody else could be also false. It could be that the so-called husband of Solange is just paid to show up in appearances and make look like he's actually married to that woman when he has nothing to do with her. It could be that it could be that Jay-Z is actually, the one who's the husband. Technically, could be, because that fight in that elevator didn't look like a fight that was just happening between two people. It looked like a lovers fight, and you could see that Beyonce was just standing and just looking. She didn't do anything. She didn't even touch. And if you notice the relationship between Beyonce and Jay-Z, it doesn't look real. It's fake. I mean, if this supposed woman is so beautiful, you can't even touch her and cuddle her and act like you love her. I mean, it looks like exchanged. Does it make sense? So let me play that elevator clip. Let me see if I can find it for you and just play to refresh your memory about that episode. So here is a clip of after that fight in the elevator when they came out. I think it was at a ball or something like that. And Solange came out first, and then Jay-Z was just behind. This was just what happened there. I think if you can find the actual clip of the video itself, then I'll do that. But here's just what happened, right? So it didn't look like, to me, the way I looked at it, because remember, it's a theory. So I don't want anybody asking me any questions and saying you're wrong or right. I'm just looking at the facts and just presenting it to them, just trying to make you understand the puzzle of what's really going on. It looked like a lover's fight. It looked like a mother fighting a father for not doing something right. It just didn't look like it's anything, and Beyonce was just standing there. So I'm thinking that Solange is the surrogate of both Blue Ivy and the twins, because that's how they can make the children look like Beyonce, because it does make perfect sense. The child's gonna look like Beyonce and look like Jay-Z at the same time, because it's coming from Solange's eggs with with Jay-Z's sperm. It makes total sense. Let me see if I can find the video of that elevator clip real quick and just play that. So here is the clip, but you guys can go look for it and actually see. You could see that Solange right there, and she's pushing on Jay-Z and fighting, and Beyonce somewhere over here. All right, Beyonce somewhere over there. Look, that fight doesn't look like a brother or sister-in-law fight. It looks like a lover's fight. All right, that's just what I want you guys to notice about that. You can go look for the video at your own time and just play yourself. So to me, that makes total sense. It makes total sense to use a sibling, because a sibling would give the resemblance of the child that the so-called transgender is going to go out. So I think it was Jay-Z's sperm and Solange being the surrogate. Or it could be anything like Solange's eggs and Jay-Z's sperm in vitro fertilized on with another surrogate. But what it makes sense to me is that it would have to be Solange to carry the child, because it would make perfect sense, because the secret would be inside in between the family. You wouldn't have to extend itself to another third party who in the future could reveal itself and say, oh, I was the surrogate. Keep it inside the family, because it's more controllable that way. So what I think what happened in that elevator right there was a lover's fight. It wasn't just a brother in-law sisterly fight as the media made us to believe. So let's move on further to some other people just to show you what I'm talking about now. So just before I move on, it's just a picture of same picture. So I'm thinking that this man was covering tracks, because I think that fight was not supposed to get out, because people wouldn't understand why a sister-in-law would be so ferocious towards a brother-in-law in an elevator. What happened? I think it's a brother, it's a mother and a father fight over maybe something pertaining to the kids or whatever the case might be. So I'm thinking that Solange is the actual surrogate, because I think she's a natural born female. She's the actual surrogate for Beyonce. Let's go on to some other people. And the next person I want to talk about is Derek Hugh. Derek Hugh, we've featured Derek Hugh on this channel. Like I said, any of the person that I'm talking about, you can go look up the video on the channel. Derek Hugh would happen to be who's actually a transgender male, because he's born female. He has siblings. So in the future, if Derek, who is supposed to have a son or already has one, I'm thinking in order to make the child look like Derek Hugh would be one of the sisters, right, who are going to be the surrogates or donating the eggs to make it look like Derek Hugh, okay? Because like I said, all these people are not real people. They're just manufactured to be on your TV, all right? So they treat them, the Vatican treats them as products, because I don't want you to forget that the people behind the organized transgendering of people and putting them on TV is the Vatican, because they own all the media, all the resources and everything else. So let's move on to another picture. And here's a picture of Serena Williams. We have a video on Serena Williams. We covered everything about Serena Williams, and we've proven that Serena Williams is actually male. Same with the brother Venus. But Serena Williams has sisters. And let me point you to a website in which you can go read up on, or let me actually show you the names of the sisters. You guys can do this on your own as well. So the sisters of Serena Williams would be, besides Venus Williams, would be Isha Price and Linda Price. So I'm thinking the eggs that made it possible for them to fake the pregnancy of Serena Williams and Alexis Ohanian's son, or daughter, as the case might be. I think the girl was called Alexis Olympia or Olympia Alexis, or the case. I don't quite remember the name right now. I think the eggs would have had to have come from one of the sisters right here. All right, so that would give us the appearance that they look like, or if I don't know if these are real siblings, because I don't really know, but I'm thinking it's gonna be from one of the members of the family. All right, they're going to make it look like she looks like Serena Williams, so that the baby would come out looking like Serena Williams as it grows up. So it has to be an egg from one of the members of the family. That's what I think. I just wanted to present those facts to you. So let's move on to someone else. So who's the next person I have? I think my sorry, I think I'm just gonna pause the video real quick. I think I missed the picture. Right, hold on a second. So this is the last couple, or let me say a couple of the family that I have on this particular video today, which happens to be the family of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I don't want anybody, I don't know if I'm saying the name right, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, you can call it whatever it is. So we've proven that for a fact that Patrick Schwarzenegger here, right, is a transgendered male. That means he was born female, transgendered male. And we've proven that the daughter, the oldest daughter here, is actually female. As you can see, she still has that arch in her back. All right. So a lot of people were always wondering, but why is it that one kid is transgendered and the other is not? Is because of continuity. Because like these families are all created by the Vatican, right? So in order to continue having these people in front of your face, because this is what actually people call cloning, all right? Cloning doesn't mean that you reproduce yourself. Cloning just means that you keep it in the family, because that's actually the real meaning of cloning, keeping it in the family. So I don't want you guys to be confused about it and say they can clone people. There's no cloning can be possible, but you have to understand, I've explained that before, that if you clone someone, let's say for example Arnold Schwarzenegger right now wanted to clone himself. That baby has to grow at the normal rate that children grow. So that means if Arnold Schwarzenegger is, let's say, 50 years of age, as the case might be, or older, and he clones himself, the child is going to be born as a child, as a baby. That means that child is going to be like 9 months grown in the womb, then comes out of it and starts living normally. So when by the time Arnold Schwarzenegger is like 52, the baby will be 2 years old. Does it make sense? So the baby that's being born at 2 years old is not going to go through the same experiences that made Arnold Schwarzenegger who he is. He might look like him, but he's not going to be able to do that. All right. Now, based on the fact that if that was possible, that's how it would be. But we know for a fact that cloning is false, because you can't clone somebody from DNA. The only way people are born into this world is through an egg and a sperm. So cloning cannot exist. All right. The only thing that can exist is that a man's sperm, all right, and his sister's eggs are used to create another resemblance of him. That's the only way it can be done. So that is what cloning actually means, keeping it in the family, inbreeding. So the reason why I'm trying to answer the question now, the reason why one child can be transgendered and the other is not, is for continuity. Because in the future, all right, if Patrick Schwarzenegger here, which we have proven is actually a female, portrayed to us as a male, wants to have children, what's gonna happen is like the sister who's actually female is gonna donate the eggs, all right? So that is gonna make the child look like it looks like Patrick Schwarzenegger, it came from the family. Then whosoever the person who's gonna donate the sperm can be, it could be also a sperm from Arnold Schwarzenegger. It could be, because these people are psychos. It could possibly happen that way. So I'm just trying to make you understand this theory of surrogates. It's a theory which I believe carries deliberate weight, carries a lot of weight, and that's the only way it's done, because like I've said before, cloning is not possible, because you can't clone somebody from DNA, because DNA doesn't exist. It's only a sperm and an egg. And this is how these people make transgenders have children that look like them, because they are taking eggs and sperm from members of the family and in vitro fertilizing to make it look like them. So that's the information I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you learned something. If you learned something, that's great. I don't want you guys to stick to false signs. I want you to know the world for what it is and understand the puzzle, and understand the puzzle of the Vatican and the devil himself, and also understand the puzzle of God, that God is very, very real. If you learned something, that's great. I advise that you stay tuned, and I'll leave you with these words as usual. Please, please, and always, always, never, never forget that you have to stick to the facts. Do not be confused. Stick to the facts. Think about what you're actually reading about. You know, don't be carried away by the disinformation. Use discernment, because a lot of people will say, okay, I pick up stuff from Google and Wikipedia, but I'm using discernment to be able to distinguish between what's real and what's not. And you can do that if you put your brain to work. Okay? So put your brain to work. Stick to the facts. Don't be confused. Hold on dear to the truth that you've come and established to know. All right, hold on to that truth and don't let it go for any reason. All right, thank you guys for being great subscribers, and I wish you all the best. And as usual, I'll leave you with my final outro in words: look with your eyes and see with your brain. Thanks, and bye bye.